Your brain lies to you. Not sometimes. Not accidentally. All the time. Relax. I know what I'm doing. Your brain's job isn't to tell the truth. Its job is to keep you alive. So it takes shortcuts, and sometimes those shortcuts turn into lies. Lie number 1. You see the world exactly as it is. Lie number 2. I can multitask. You're not multitasking. You're just switching tasks really fast, and doing all of them worse. Your brain lies because truth takes effort. Fast decisions helped our ancestors survive danger. Today, that same system still runs the show, even when it causes confusion, bias, and bad choices. Memories feel permanent, but they're not. Every time you remember something, your brain rewrites it slightly. That's why two people can experience the same moment and remember it completely differently. You think you're good at multitasking, but your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. It just switches quickly between tasks, making mistakes while convincing you you're doing great. So next time you feel absolutely certain, pause for a moment. It might not be reality speaking, it might just be your brain telling another very convincing lie. Today I'll eat healthy, work hard, avoid distractions, and stay positive. I feel strong right now. My motivation is high, nothing can stop me. This is the day I finally stay disciplined. See? I'm in control. I said no to snacks. I ignored my phone. I'm choosing discipline again and again. It feels powerful, but I didn't realize each decision is quietly draining my mental energy. Why am I feeling tired already? I haven't done much, but every choice takes effort. Every no uses energy. My brain isn't limitless. It runs on fuel, and that fuel is slowly running low. So many decisions. What to say, what to eat, how to respond, how to behave. My mind keeps working nonstop. Willpower isn't just motivation, it's self-control. And self-control gets weaker the more I use it. I was strong all day, so why am I giving in now? It's not laziness, it's exhaustion. My brain wants comfort. When energy drops, discipline fades. Immediate pleasure suddenly feels impossible to resist. Willpower is like a muscle. Overuse it, and it gets tired. Stress, lack of sleep, emotions, they drain it faster. I thought I lacked discipline. But maybe, I just lacked recovery. Your brain loves familiarity. Routine feels safe because it saves energy. Anything familiar requires less thinking, less effort, and fewer risks. So your brain naturally prefers staying where everything feels predictable and controlled. When change appears, your brain treats it like danger. The unknown triggers fear responses because, evolutionarily, unfamiliar situations once meant possible threats, even if today's change is completely harmless. Your brain is an energy-saving machine. Learning new habits uses more mental power, so your brain resists change and pushes you back toward old patterns that feel easier and require less effort. Habits are stored neural shortcuts. Once a behavior becomes familiar, your brain locks it in. Changing habits means breaking these shortcuts, which feels uncomfortable and mentally exhausting at first. Change threatens your sense of control. Your brain prefers certainty over improvement, because uncertainty creates anxiety, even when the new path could lead to better results. Your brain remembers past failures more strongly than successes. When faced with change, it replays old negative experiences to protect you, even if those memories are outdated or exaggerated. We often show smiles to the world, even when our emotions feel heavy inside. This invisible gap is where emotional masks begin. Emotional masks help us fit in. We choose expressions that feel safe, accepted, and expected, hiding feelings we fear might be misunderstood or rejected. Many of us learn early that emotions are inconvenient. Over time, we hide sadness, anger, or fear, believing that showing them makes us weak or unwanted. Society rewards control and confidence. To survive socially or professionally, we mask uncertainty, pretending we have everything together even when we don't. Wearing emotional masks constantly is tiring. Suppressing real feelings can lead to stress, loneliness, and the quiet sense that no one truly knows us. We remove masks when we feel safe. Trust, empathy, and understanding create spaces where honesty feels less dangerous than pretending. Being real doesn't mean being weak. It means allowing complex emotions to exist, accepting that strength and vulnerability can live together. Emotional masks protect us, but they shouldn't imprison us. True connection begins when we slowly choose authenticity over approval. When someone speaks with confidence, steady voice, strong posture, direct eye contact, we instinctively listen. Confidence feels like competence, even before we evaluate the actual message. Even when information is identical, delivery changes perception. A hesitant speaker triggers doubt. A confident speaker signals certainty. Our brain often mistakes certainty for accuracy. Confidence activates authority bias. We're wired to trust leaders who appear sure of themselves. In ancestral times, decisive leaders increased survival chances. Body language shapes credibility. Open gestures, calm tone, and controlled movements reduce perceived threat. When we feel safe, we become more receptive to the message. Hesitation creates uncertainty. Pauses filled with self-doubt make listeners question the content. Even true statements can seem unreliable if delivered without confidence. Confidence also transfers emotion. Passionate delivery energizes the audience. Emotion spreads socially, making the message feel more powerful and convincing. But confidence doesn't guarantee truth. History shows many persuasive speakers who were wrong. Trusting confidence blindly can lead to manipulation. We trust confident speakers because our brains equate certainty with competence and safety. But true wisdom lies in balancing instinct with critical thinking, listening carefully, not just confidently. Inside your head, a quiet voice never stops talking. It comments, questions, worries, and plans. This inner dialogue feels natural, yet few people pause to ask why the mind speaks to itself at all. Psychologists believe self-talk is the brain practicing reality. By talking internally, we rehearse conversations, prepare decisions, and simulate outcomes before acting in the real world. We talk to ourselves to manage emotions. The inner voice calms fear, boosts confidence, or criticizes mistakes. It acts like an internal coach, helping us survive stress, uncertainty, and emotional overload. Inner dialogue shapes identity. When we narrate our experiences, we define who we are. Self-talk helps us label thoughts, judge actions, and create a personal story that feels consistent and meaningful. Talking in your head improves problem solving. By verbalizing thoughts internally, the brain organizes information, breaks complex problems into steps, and finds patterns that silence alone might miss. This habit begins in childhood. As kids talk out loud while learning, that voice slowly moves inward. What once guided behavior externally becomes the silent narrator guiding adult decisions. When anxiety appears, many of us start talking more than usual. Words spill out quickly, sometimes without thinking. This isn't random, it's the brain's automatic response to discomfort, trying to reduce tension and regain a sense of control. Anxiety activates the brain's threat system. When the body senses danger, even social danger, the mind speeds up. Talking becomes a way to release nervous energy and keep the situation moving instead of sitting in uncomfortable silence. Silence can feel threatening when we're anxious. The brain interprets it as judgment or rejection. By talking more, we try to fill the space, hoping to avoid awkwardness and prevent others from noticing our inner nervousness. Talking also becomes a form of reassurance seeking. We explain, justify, or overshare to make sure we're understood and accepted. Each sentence is an attempt to confirm that everything is okay and no mistake has been made. Anxiety reduces our ability to pause. The brain fears stopping because it might allow negative thoughts to surface. So we keep talking, using words as a distraction from the uncomfortable feelings happening inside. Afterward, we may replay the conversation, worrying we said too much. This happens because anxiety doesn't stop when the moment ends. The brain continues scanning for mistakes, even when no real problem exists. Slowing down helps break this cycle. Deep breathing, pausing, and accepting silence teaches the brain that quiet moments aren't dangerous. With practice, anxiety loses its need to fill every gap with words. In the end, talking more when anxious is a protective habit. It's the mind trying to keep us safe. By understanding this, we can respond with compassion, and slowly learn to speak from calm instead of fear. This space feels familiar. I know what happens here. No surprises, no embarrassment, no failure. It may not be exciting, but it's safe. And sometimes, safety feels more important than growth or adventure. What if I step out and things go wrong? What if I fail? The unknown feels risky. My brain prefers predictable pain over unpredictable possibilities. At least here, I know what to expect, even if it's not perfect. Routine makes life easier. I don't have to think too much. My habits run on autopilot. Change requires effort, and effort feels uncomfortable. So I repeat yesterday, because it feels mentally cheaper. What will people say if I try something new? What if I look foolish? Staying small protects my image. Inside this circle, no one judges my risks, because I'm not taking any. After a while, comfort becomes part of my identity. I tell myself, this is just how I am. It feels easier to believe I can't change than to risk discovering I can. Avoiding discomfort gives instant relief. Stepping forward creates anxiety. My brain chooses short-term peace over long-term growth. It's not laziness, it's self-protection working overtime. The longer I stay, the smaller my world becomes. What once felt safe now feels limiting. Growth lives outside this circle, but my fear keeps convincing me the cage is security. I should study, but just one quick scroll won't hurt. It's only 5 minutes. I deserve a small break before I start focusing seriously. That feels good. A new like, a new message, something new again. It's quick, easy, and instantly satisfying. Why does this feel more exciting than long-term goals? Climbing the mountain looks exhausting. It will take time, effort, and patience. The couch looks easy and comfortable. My mind keeps choosing what feels good now instead of what helps later. Maybe my brain is wired this way. Long ago, quick rewards meant survival, food, safety, comfort. My brain still prefers immediate rewards, even if modern life requires long-term thinking. Waiting feels uncomfortable. Progress is slow. Results are invisible. I don't see rewards immediately, so my motivation fades. It's easier to choose something that gives instant pleasure. Why do I feel guilty now? It felt good a moment ago. Instant pleasure disappears quickly, but the consequences stay longer. Still, I repeat the same pattern again. Maybe it's not about avoiding pleasure. Maybe it's about learning to delay it. What if small disciplined actions today create bigger rewards tomorrow? Sometimes we open old messages without even realizing why. A single word or name can pull us back into the past, making us relive moments, emotions, and conversations that once felt important or meaningful. We reread messages because they carry emotional memories. Our brain links words with feelings, tone, and moments in time, allowing a simple text to bring back emotions just as strongly as the day we first read it. Old messages can feel comforting. They remind us we were once valued, loved, or understood. Revisiting them gives emotional reassurance, especially during moments of loneliness, doubt, or emotional uncertainty. Sometimes we search for hidden meaning. The brain replays conversations to understand what was really meant, what we missed, or what went wrong, hoping to gain clarity or closure we never fully received. Rereading messages also helps us reflect on how we've changed. Seeing old words shows how relationships, emotions, and even our own mindset have evolved over time, creating a sense of personal growth or loss. Not all messages bring comfort. Some reopen emotional wounds, yet the brain revisits them because unresolved feelings still exist, and the mind tries to process emotions that were never fully understood or expressed. Rereading messages can become a habit. While it helps us feel connected to the past, staying there too long can trap emotions. The brain needs balance between remembering and letting go. In the end, rereading old messages is deeply human. It reflects our need for connection, meaning, and understanding. Memories matter, but learning when to hold on and when to move forward matters even more. Everyone laughs. The room feels frozen. Your heart races, your face burns, and time slows down. Even after it's over, your brain marks this moment as dangerous, storing it deeper than ordinary memories. Embarrassment triggers the brain's threat system. Your amygdala treats social mistakes like survival risks, releasing stress hormones that tell your brain, remember this forever. Don't let this happen again. Strong emotions act like glue for memories. The more intense the shame or anxiety, the stronger the memory becomes. Your brain links emotion to detail, replaying the moment with uncomfortable clarity. You feel like everyone noticed, judged, and remembers. In reality, most people quickly forget. But your brain exaggerates attention, convincing you that you were the center of everyone's focus. Your mind replays embarrassing moments repeatedly, trying to fix them. This mental replay strengthens the memory pathway, making the event feel fresher and more painful every time you think about it. Embarrassing memories exist to protect you. Your brain stores them vividly as lessons, hoping future you will avoid similar social danger, even if the threat isn't truly harmful.
Have you ever replayed a small conversation again and again in your head? Or worried about something that hasn't even happened yet? If yes, you're not alone. Overthinking is something almost everyone experiences, and today we're going to understand why our mind does this, in the simplest way possible. Overthinking is when your brain keeps thinking about the same problem without reaching a solution. Instead of helping you decide, your mind keeps going in circles. It feels like you're being productive, but in reality, your thoughts are stuck on repeat. Your brain is designed to protect you. Long ago, overthinking helped humans survive by spotting danger early. But today, that same survival system treats simple problems like big threats. Your brain overanalyzes because it believes it's keeping you safe. One major reason we overthink is fear. Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of being judged, or fear of failing. When we want everything to be perfect, our mind keeps searching for the best option, even when no perfect answer exists. Thinking helps you move forward. Overthinking keeps you stuck. Thinking leads to action, while overthinking leads to stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. The problem isn't thinking too much, it's thinking without taking action. Overthinking becomes a habit. The more you do it, the more natural it feels. Your brain gets used to worrying, replaying, and imagining worst-case scenarios. That's why stopping overthinking isn't easy, but it is possible.
Lights go off and the world gets quiet, our mind suddenly wakes up. No distractions, no noise, just thoughts lining up, waiting for attention, especially the ones we ignored all day. During the day, we stay busy scrolling, working, and talking. At night, all that stops. The brain finally gets space to replay conversations, mistakes, and unfinished worries on repeat. Overthinking loves silence. With no tasks to solve, the brain invents problems. Small worries suddenly feel huge, emotional, and urgent, like they must be solved right now at 2 a.m. At night, emotions get louder. Logic gets tired, but imagination stays awake. The brain starts creating worst-case scenarios, convincing us that tomorrow's problems are already disasters. Another reason we overthink at night is exhaustion. A tired brain struggles to control thoughts, so they wander freely, jumping from one memory to another without stopping. Night also feels lonely. Without people around, thoughts turn inward. We question ourselves, our choices, and our future, things we avoid asking when daylight keeps us distracted. Ironically, the more we try to sleep, the harder thinking becomes. Telling yourself, stop thinking, only makes your brain think louder, creating a frustrating mental loop.
Have you ever replayed a small conversation again and again in your head? Or worried about something that hasn't even happened yet? If yes, you're not alone. Overthinking is something almost everyone experiences, and today we're going to understand why our mind does this, in the simplest way possible. Overthinking is when your brain keeps thinking about the same problem without reaching a solution. Instead of helping you decide, your mind keeps going in circles. It feels like you're being productive, but in reality, your thoughts are stuck on repeat. Your brain is designed to protect you. Long ago, overthinking helped humans survive by spotting danger early. But today, that same survival system treats simple problems like big threats. Your brain overanalyzes because it believes it's keeping you safe. One major reason we overthink is fear. Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of being judged, or fear of failing. When we want everything to be perfect, our mind keeps searching for the best option, even when no perfect answer exists. Thinking helps you move forward. Overthinking keeps you stuck. Thinking leads to action, while overthinking leads to stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. The problem isn't thinking too much, it's thinking without taking action. Overthinking becomes a habit. The more you do it, the more natural it feels. Your brain gets used to worrying, replaying, and imagining worst-case scenarios. That's why stopping overthinking isn't easy, but it is possible.